Welcome, everyone. I will give our attendees just a couple minutes to join the meeting, just about a minute or two. And then I am Mary Alice Berg. I'm your moderator. So I'll just do a couple quick reminders for everyone, and then I will turn it over to my presenter. So let me share my screen so I can give you that information. Share, and then. Okay, welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. My name is Mary Alice Berg, and I will be your facilitator for the Willamette session this evening. Thank you for joining us. A couple housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button that's on the bottom of your screen to type questions to our presenter at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So the only way to communicate is to type into the Q&A box. And this is just one of many sessions that have occurred over the last few weeks. We have posted all of the previously recorded sessions online at IACAC.org. And this presentation tonight is being recorded and will be available within about a week on that same website, IACAC.org. So now I am going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to my presenter. Enjoy.
Thanks so much, Mary. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your evening with me. My name is Claire Lightson. I'm one of the Senior Assistant Directors in the Office of Admission at Willamette University. I work with students from the greater Seattle area out in the state of Washington, and then also from the great state of Illinois, as well as Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. As an Illinois native myself, it's so wonderful to be able to work with students who are from Illinois, but are looking to maybe expand where they want to live for their time in college. So thanks for spending a piece of your evening here with me today. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of Willamette. We'll talk some of the number highlights, if you will, and then I'll talk about life in the academic experience, and we'll talk about life outside the classroom as well. And last but not least, I'll save some time to talk about applying to and paying for college, and then we'll save some time for questions at the end if there are any, and feel free to use the Q&A as we go through this presentation. But without further ado, let's jump in here. Willamette University was founded in 1842. We are a historic institution, to say the least. We were actually a university before the state of Oregon was recognized as a state of the Union. So we actually gifted the land that the state capital exists on to the government. And so we like to say that the state of Oregon grew up around and because of the Willamette people. We are a four-year private liberal arts institution supported by 3 professional schools, our College of Law, our Atkinson Graduate School of Management, and we were recently joined by the Claremont School of Theology. Last but not least, we are one of the 40 colleges that change lives. For those of you who might not have heard of the Colleges That Change Lives, it's an organization, a nonprofit organization that started out of a book written by Lauren Pope, kind of as an antidote to the Ivy Leagues, to say that there are so many wonderful small private liberal arts institutions that just aren't as well known. And Willamette has been one of those 40 colleges that changed lives over the 3 iterations of that book. Couple numbers here for you. We have 1,700 undergraduate students and 600 graduate students. So we are primarily an undergraduate institution. I normally joke with students, if you are hoping to be anonymous when you go to college, Willamette might not be the best place for you, right? Our average class size is 17. Our student to faculty ratio is 11:1. So you will be expected to participate and engage in the classroom. You will see familiar faces and friends everywhere that you go. So if that's the kind of college experience you're looking for, you're in the right place so far. We have 52 academic programs, and most of our students will graduate with more than 1 major. Some students will choose to do a double major, a major and a minor, 2 minors. I was actually speaking with one of our students yesterday who was planning on triple majoring, believe it or not. We have a 305-acre plot of land that we call Xena, as a fun fact for you. It's what I like to call an outdoor playground for particularly our environmental science and biology students. They can go and take samples and bring them back to the lab on campus. And other than that, it's a wonderful recreational space for our students to be able to engage with the outdoor space and the beautiful space that is Oregon. There are miles of hiking trails. Students will bring their hammocks, a wonderful kind of nice respite from the hustle and bustle that is Salem, Oregon. Additionally, we have a 54-year partnership with Tokyo International University in Japan. They send about 100 international students over every year, and they're embedded into our campus culture. So it's a wonderful cross-cultural experience for our students to be able to engage with students from mostly Japan, but other countries within the continent of Asia, specifically for students who are interested in studying Japanese or Chinese, either language or cultural studies as well. We also are 76 feet from the state capitol of Oregon. 80% of the interns in the state capitol building are Willamette students. I think that speaks really well to the rapport we have with our local government, but also with the city of Salem at large. Our students are very much a heartbeat of our campus community, but they're also very much respected in the Salem community as well as within our local and national governments. We also have over 66 study abroad opportunities on campus in about 45 different countries around the world. So for students who might be interested in studying abroad, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to do so with us. A quick tour of our campus for those of you who might not have been able to be there before. This picture right here is taken above our quad, the building. If I can grab my pointer here, you see in front is Waller Hall. This is the original building of Willamette University back when we were founded in 1842. The entire university existed in this building before. We have obviously expanded since then. I mentioned earlier the state capitol across the street here. This man up here, his real name is the Pioneer, but we lovingly on campus call him the Big Tall Gold Man. And these trees you see over here on the left side of your screen are called the star trees. They were planted on Willamette's 100th birthday, and they are the largest sequoia trees outside of the redwood forest in California. They are a majestic sight to see, and I hope that some of you might get to see them in person someday. They get their name because if you walk under them and look up, it actually does create the shape of a star in the sky, which I think is pretty cool. This is a beautiful photo of kind of the heartbeat of our campus, if you will. This is the mill stream that runs through campus, which connects to the Willamette River, one of the largest rivers that runs through Oregon, which is where we get our name. And this building back here is our undergraduate library with our beautiful clock tower. And then this green space here is a wonderful kind of social space for students. The Adirondack chairs are there for students to eat lunch, meet with professors, do some homework. Students will bring blankets to sit in the green chair. It's hard to walk past here without seeing a friend or a familiar face. And last but not least, this building behind the tree over here is our student center. It houses our student activities, our outdoor program, our dean of students, as well as our beloved student-run coffee shop called The Bistro, where the cookies and the coffee are only $1. I call this our caricature map. This, just to orient yourself here, is Willamette University right there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the state capitol is here. And this over here is downtown Salem. We're very much a college town. Our students can walk 2 blocks and they're there. And we've highlighted some of their favorite coffee shops and restaurants here. You can walk to the movie theater. You can walk to the grocery store. And then I also love to point out from students who are from Illinois that we are right across the street from the Amtrak station. So it's really easy to get back and forth to Portland, where the airport is. It's about a 45-minute drive. And it is a straight shot, one flight from either Midway or O'Hare. And for those of you who fly Southwest, new and exciting news that Southwest will now be flying out of O'Hare soon, which is wonderful. Talk a little bit about the academic experience here. A few things of note. We love to talk about our access to faculty. Again, we have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our faculty teach at Willamette because they love to work with our students. Colloquium is the only required course that a student has to take during their time at Willamette. It starts in your orientation experience, and it's designed to help kind of jumpstart your educational experience off the right foot in terms of reading and writing to make sure that you're set to be successful for the next 3.5 years. We have wonderful research opportunities on campus for students starting in their first year. You don't have to wait to your junior or senior year to be a participant in any of our research programs. And we have 75 competitive research grants that you can apply for to either design your own research project or hop on another project, either on campus with one of our faculty members or a research project elsewhere. We had a physics student go work on an optics laser lab in Paris last summer that was completely paid for. Wonderful opportunity. Experiential learning is one of our general education requirements. It's one of 3 things. We require students to either study abroad, do research, or have an internship over the course of their 4 years at Willamette. Most students will do 2, if not all 3 of those by the time that they graduate, but our general education requirements only require 1. A part of Willamette's mission statement says that we're turning knowledge into action. And so we believe it's important what you're learning in the classroom, obviously, but we also believe it's just as important that you're taking what you're learning in the classroom and applying that practically outside of the classroom. This experiential learning credit helps you get there. I'm going to pause for a moment here, and instead of me explaining what our hearths are, I'm going to show you a quick video of what the hearths look like on our campus as an academic space for you.
The hearth really embodies the ideal of Willamette as a residential liberal arts college. The history of the hearth goes back to the renovation of Collins Science Center in 1981. One of the spaces that was last to be finalized was the space that became the chemistry hearth. The architect said, okay, we'll just put some tables there with chairs and call it a hearth as a gathering place for faculty and students. We were interacting almost immediately.
The hearth I see as a community space. It's kind of neat for the students in a particular discipline to feel like they have the spot that they can go where they can find the other students that are doing what they're doing. So it's really a place of connection.
I have my office with the desks against the wall so that there's open space inviting people in, but the hearth also invites people out.
Right outside our offices, the charm and the draw is in the fact that students here feel comfortable coming up and asking a question about anything.
You get a lot of time to talk one-on-one with different professors, and you just learn a lot of subtle things. And you can talk to all kinds of different students.
I like it working in here better than I like working in the library. It's easier to find people who know what you're working on. It's social, but it's also collaborative learning.
Willamette is a very egalitarian place where faculty genuinely care about students. We collaborate and share, and our doors are always open.
From a good chemistry standpoint, another way to think of the space is as a bonding space.
When you're working with somebody personally on something, you can just see that the wheels turning in their mind, and there's that sort of click when the idea comes. For me, it's always a joy to see that, just see the learning actually happening right in the moment.
You're not a good teacher unless you can actually creatively meet students who come with a very diverse range of backgrounds.
I feel like the hearth really makes us unique. I don't see why any other university wouldn't want to have this.
The hearth is the simple space where very rich connections occur that really defy simple description.
So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of our collaborative academic nature on our campus. Our hearth system is very unique to Willamette, and each academic department has one. We have a handful of new programs that we're very excited about. We have a new undergraduate major in business, in public health. I can't think of a better time to be studying public health, and also in data science. And because we are a university, and I mentioned our graduate schools before, we have a handful of dual degree programs as well. So we have a 3+2 BA, BS, plus an MBA program. We have a 3+3 undergraduate and JD program. And we also have a 3+1 BS and MS in data science program. So if you're doing your math, all of those programs save a year of being in school, save a year of paying tuition, and really give students that upward mobility to get their career started, all while keeping the same networks and connections that they've had at the undergraduate level as well. Talk a little bit about life outside the classroom here. And our students love to participate in those opportunities. You can see that they're involved in about 2 or 3 things outside of their classroom experiences, and there's obviously no shortage of opportunities to do so. We have over 100 clubs and student organizations. One of our most popular programs is our outdoor program, and the picture that you see on the right side of the screen here is from one of the hikes that our outdoor program went on. They offer about 120 trips every year: hiking, skiing, snowboarding, surfing, whitewater rafting, kayaking, canoeing, rock climbing, you name it. For students who are interested in getting outside and exploring the beautiful natural world that is Oregon, our outdoor program offers about 3 trips every weekend at a fairly nominal cost. It averages about $5 to $8 to get out and explore with your peers. We also have a handful of multicultural and affinity groups, and we also have a very robust student government. For students who might be interested in participating in that, you can participate all 4 years. We also have a very musical campus. We have 20 music ensembles. Those are both vocal and instrumental, and a handful of performing arts clubs as well. We have many theater clubs. We have a dance club. There's a boy club, you name it. Lots of opportunities to get involved in the performing arts on our campus. You do not have to be studying music or theater to be a participant in any of those ensembles. The beauty of the liberal arts, right? You get to do it all. We have 19 NCAA Division III varsity sports on our campus, and we will be 20 next year. We're adding a women's triathlon team in 2021, which we're very excited about. About 25% of our undergraduate students do participate in our Division III athletic teams. The next step down from our varsity teams is club sports, so you do still have to try out for those teams. They're just not as time consuming as the varsity sports. And then the third tier is intramural sports. You don't ever have to have picked up a basketball to be able to play in intramural sports. Our students take their intramural sports very seriously, but in much more of a friendly level for students to kind of be in community with one another outside of their classroom experiences. We also have fraternity and sorority life on our campus. About 15% of our students participate in that, so kind of the best of both worlds. So for students who are interested in participating in those philanthropic organizations, the opportunity presents itself to you. And if not, it's not an overwhelming presence on our campus either. I mentioned earlier that we have been around for a very long time, since 1842, so it makes sense that we have a handful of traditions as well. These are only a few here, and I won't talk about all of them now, but one of my favorites is the lighting of the star trees, as I already talked about our Dollar Bistro cookies. The lighting of the star trees is an annual tradition at the beginning of December, where we kind of jet set the holiday season by having a countdown, and the large sequoia trees that I showed you earlier in the picture. They are, on the count of 3, 2, 1, lit up with beautiful holiday lights. There is caroling and hot cider and hot chocolate and donuts, and we welcome the Salem community to join us on campus. It's a wonderful way to start the holiday season. A fun fact for you is that Willamette has broken a Guinness World Record twice, and if this doesn't speak to our campus community, I'm not sure what would. We won the largest game of red light, green light, and then the NFL actually stole it from us in 2014, and we won it back from them in 2015 with just over 1,200 Bearcats participating in that world record. A little bit about living on campus. We have a 2-year live-on requirement, so all of our first year and sophomore students are required to live on campus. Our juniors and seniors have the option to live off campus if they would like, though at any given time, about 75% of our undergraduate students do choose to live on campus all 4 years. And if they choose to live off campus in their upperclassmen years, they all live within about a mile radius of where campus is, which I think speaks really well, again, to their engagement that they have with our campus community. We also have 2 dining halls. Gowdy Commons is our main dining hall on campus, and they're very open and welcoming to students who have any dietary restrictions or needs. And additionally, Kaneko is the dining hall on the campus of Tokyo International University of America, right there on our campus, and it's an Asian-influenced dining hall. So if you like katsudon or sushi, it's a wonderful dining hall for you to go enjoy. And we get this question a lot, so we always get ahead of it and say, yes, you can bring a car. You are more than welcome to have a car on campus all 4 years. Though if you'll think back to the map I showed you just a little while ago, you certainly won't need one on campus to be able to access everything that you might need. Here's a picture of a pretty traditional double occupancy residence hall, just to give you an idea of what that would look like for you. And here's a picture of one of our common area spaces within one of our residence halls. You'll see there is a community kitchen over here in every residence hall, wonderful place to work on group projects, and then comfy places to relax with your friends, to watch a movie or play any video games that you might be interested in this beautiful common area space. For any seniors who are joining us tonight, I'll talk a little bit about our application process and paying for college, as I know that's probably on the forefront of your brain right now. We are a common application exclusive school. 3 things to know about our application. There's no application fee, it's free to apply, no supplemental materials, so we only require the 1 essay that the common application requires. And additionally, we're a test optional institution. So we have been test optional for several years, and I know that there's a lot of anxiety around testing right now in this COVID world that we are all living in. So just so we are all clear, you can apply test optional. Our average SAT is a 1300 and our average ACT is a 28. You are still fully considered for a merit scholarship if you choose not to submit your test scores. We have 2 decision deadlines. Our early decision, early action deadline is November 15th, and our regular decision deadline is January 15th. The overwhelming majority of our students will apply in the early action deadline of November 15th. And if you do so, either early action or early decision, you will know by the end of this calendar year if you've been admitted to Willamette. So it's a wonderful way to jump into the new year, kind of with a weight off your shoulders, and then it gives you an opportunity before May 1st to ask lots of questions, meet with faculty members, have a virtual meeting with a current student and attend a virtual tour, attend class, you name it. I mentioned earlier that our test scores are optional. We do require 1 letter of recommendation from a counselor or a teacher from a core subject, but you are more than welcome to submit any other letters if you have a mentor or a coach who can speak to your abilities as well. You are more than welcome to submit a resume too. Again, not required, an optional piece to your application, but if that can speak to your abilities and what you've been involved outside of the classroom, you are more than welcome to do that. And last but not least, we offer virtual admission interviews, and those are optional but highly encouraged. We love to be able to get to know you outside of your application because we know that you are so much more than what you get to type within your application. So I would encourage you to sign up for an interview on our website. I'm your admission counselor, so I would love to chat with you a little bit more about what you're interested in and what your future goals are for your academic career when you think about going to college. And last but not least, here, financial aid at Willamette. Our merit scholarships go up to $30,000 a year, and those are renewable for the 4 years you're at Willamette, so you do not have to reapply for those every year. We also offer a handful of competitive scholarships that you can see right here. A note about music and theater competitive scholarships is, as I mentioned earlier, you do not have to be studying music or theater to be a recipient of these competitive scholarships. And last but not least, we do offer and accept the FAFSA, and we have paper FAFSAs available for students who might be in need of those. All 3 of these options for financial aid and scholarships are stackable on top of one another. And here is a beautiful picture of our campus. And this is kind of what it looks like right now. And the leaves have changed, it is fully fall. And you can see that the direction we're facing is right towards the Pacific Ocean. We're about an hour to the coast. On the opposite end, we're about an hour to the mountains and about an hour to Portland. So wonderfully centrally located within Oregon to experience all that it has to offer if you're interested in attending college outside of Illinois and looking out towards the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest. I would love to have the opportunity to chat with you a little bit more as you continue through your college admission process. I'll check to see if there are any questions here, but again, my name is Claire Leitzen. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admission at Willamette, and I look forward to working with you through the rest of your college admission process.
Thank you so much, Claire. I think we all learned a ton in your session. I am just going to pop in with a couple housekeeping announcements to end the show.
Thanks, Mary Alice.
No problem. Thank you for joining us, to my audience and to Claire. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a super short survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can give us. And remember that this was one of many sessions being hosted. So review pre-recorded additional sessions online at IACAC.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session that you just watched online as well, also at that same website, IACAC.org. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your college search, and we will see you soon. Thank you.